There's evidence that the global economic turmoil is taking its toll on the federal budget. The Treasurer has always said the slowdown will make it harder to deliver a surplus next May. Now, a leading forecaster is predicting a deficit is more likely, unless the government makes some drastic spending cuts. Here's political correspondent Greg Jennett.
6 months ago seemed an age of certainties.
We're on track for surplus in 2012-13, on time and as promised.
But shudders in Europe and shockwaves around the globe have seen certainties melt into steely determination.
We are determined to come back to surplus in 2012-13.
The Treasurer's budget night promise was to get the books back in the black by a modest $3 billion next year. Now, private sector forecasters believe revenue's bleeding so much it's red as far as the eye can see.
What we see as a small deficit, about $2 billion in deficit.
Deloitte Access says a surplus could be achieved, but only with heavy spending cuts, hardly appropriate at a time when the economy's slowing anyway.
It's better to just let the surplus go, let it be a deficit.
The Treasurer knows revenue's taken a hit, but won't abandon his surplus forecast and is warning the knives are out to achieve it.
We will have to make savings in this budget.
I think it's important that the government get us back to surplus. I doubt very much that this government has the ticker to do so.
Tony Abbott's budgetary ticker's being tested too. The coalition's backflipped on part of the government's mining tax package, deciding to keep the higher superannuation payments, and that's made it $740 million harder for him to fund his promise.
We will find that expense from savings in the budget.
The government's hopes for a budget surplus are more about political pride than economic necessity. Just how determined it is will be revealed later this month or early next, when the Treasurer hands down his budget update. On the immediate to-do list, tomorrow marks the final passage by the Senate of the government's carbon tax laws, but not the end of the argument. Greg Jennett, ABC News, Canberra.